Hi everybody. This week we talked about finding slope from graphs. So I'm going to do a quick little review for you on this. Uh, Hopefully you're watching this as you're getting ready to take your test. Um, so let's go ahead and get started. So what I'm using right now is PowerPoint, but from our testing writer. So these are the kinds of questions that you're going to actually see on your test, or this is how they're going to actually look. So we've got our multiple choice. I'll show you how to kind of cancel different things out to help you take that part of it. So let's get started. I'll make this a little bit bigger here, or not. There we go. And so if we're trying to find slope, remember there was these four different kinds of slope. We had positive slope, in which our lines would go up and down in this direction. We have negative slope, which they will be going down in this direction. We have this one that was a horizontal line, and hopefully you guys remember that that one is zero slope or no slope. And then we've got the one that goes straight up and down, and that was the one that we called undefined. So the first thing I always do when I look at these is I look to see what direction the line is going. And as we're moving to the right, this line is going up. So on this problem, let me move that up a little bit so we can see it better. I know that this is going to be positive slope. So right away, I can get rid of answer A and answer B because those both have negatives. So now we have to actually do the rise over the run. We've talked about this many times. Now my suggestion always would be to start off on the farthest left point. Okay? If we do that, that forces us eventually to move to the right. Okay? Remember, we got to do rise and run or rise first, but eventually we always move to the right because we're starting off with the left. So I need to find out how many spots I'm going to go from this point here to get up to the same spot as this one, which would be about right in this direction here. So remember, you can either count by making little marks, you can do your little loops, whatever you want to do. I'm going to do the little loops so you guys can see it a little bit better. But we are going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4. So my rise is a positive 4 because I went up, and now we're to this part right here. We need to move or run to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be 4/5. Looking down here at my multiple choice, we would answer this one as D. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to do another one here. Let's try this one. I've got that all set. Now with this kind, our line is going down as we're moving to the right, so I know that this one is going to be negative. So I can right away get rid of my positive 2 and my positive 1/2. So I don't even have to look at those ones when I'm answering my test questions. I start off the farthest point to the left, which is going to be this point. Okay, and so I'm going to be going down or rising a -1 because I'm going down. So that's going to be -1. And then from this part here, I need to move to the right. Once again, I'm moving to the right. So I know that bottom number is going to be positive. That's what I'm forcing myself to do when I start with the farthest one left. So I'm going over one spot. I'm going over two spots. So that is -1/2. Okay, and remember, like I said in class, this negative sign, as long as one of those are negative, the negative actually goes in front of the 1/2. So that's how I'm going to answer A for this one, not the -2. Okay, let's go ahead and try a different one here. We can do this one real quick. Positive slope. So I can get rid of my A and my B choices, or even if it wasn't multiple choice, you know your answer is going to be positive. But I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my rise is 7. And now from here, my run is 1, 2, 3. So I get a positive 7/3. Now, some of you like actually starting off with the one that's on the top, and that's perfectly fine also. I'll do that in red. So if you start off with the top point, whether it's over here, wherever it's going to be, we can go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which that would make it a -7 because you're going down, but then you're going backwards 1, 2, 3 spots, and that's a -3 there. Remember when we talked about in class, a negative over negative is the same thing as a positive over a positive. So you're still going to get a positive 3/7. The answer does not change. So really, you can start off on either dot. My suggestion is keeping it the same every single time you do the problem. That's why in class I always start off with the one farthest to the left. Let's try to get one more here. This is the one I wanted. Now, if we're going to use this one, please remember that this is one of those special case ones. Okay? Remember, we are not rising at all. So we're not going up, we're not going down because it's on the same line. So our rise really is 0, and that's going to be over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our rise is 0, our run is 5. And remember, the special case on this one, if it was 0 divided by 5, your calculator would give you an answer of 0. Or you can also think that there is no rise. So this one has a 0 slope. And then there's one final one that I actually do not have on here, but I can actually make the point here. Make that a little bit bigger. What if I had a dot there and I had a dot right there? Okay. This is one of those vertical line ones. Make that a little smaller. Our rise is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we rise 4. But our run, you're not going left or right at all. So that's 4 over 0. Now, if you type this into the calculator, depending on the kind of calculator you're going to use, we get a, let's see, what does it say? 0, divide by 0 error. When we have that, remember that we couldn't define how far we're actually going to fall, or however the different things we actually talked about it. We watched that one video where it said undefined because it was the worst swear word in mathematics. Okay, so please remember that this is the undefined one. So those, I showed you a positive slope, I showed you a negative slope, a 0 slope, and now the undefined slope.